Okay guys, I'm trying a new camera setup. Hope this comes out good for you. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at an old school bushcrafting kind of setup and philosophy. So let's take a look at my bushcrafting blanket. Okay, so like I mentioned, today we're going to be taking a look at my bushcrafting blanket. And this is essentially what I would kind of deem my old school bushcrafting setup or loadout. And before backpacks were popularized, this was actually a really popular thing to do, is to basically pack up your entire bushcrafting loadout into a blanket or some kind of bedroll. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at that as kind of another creative option, as well as a more lightweight version of what I would carry, kind of as a 5-tool rule or something really minimalist. So let's get into this. Okay, so starting this off, we have these 2 paracord ties, and basically everything that's on the inside of this is set up in between these 2 paracord ties, aside from the axe obviously, and everything cinched down as hard as I can get it. Now to start off with the blanket, because the blanket's the most important part here, it kind of determines your bushcrafting blanket obviously. So with this is one of those really awesome but very hard to find Army surplus 100% wool blankets. I figure if you're going to go with a bushcrafting blanket, you got to go all the way, old school and quality wise. These blankets are very rare to find, but if you can get one of these, you will not be disappointed. These 100% wool Army blankets are really tough, and they're also really very warm. So anyways, I just have these kind of 2 straps here. They're just pieces of paracord with jam knots on them to keep everything locked together. So let's dig into what I have rolled up here. So I don't have a whole lot rolled up, and I wanted to keep a heavy emphasis on minimalism. So the first 2 things, hopefully you guys can see here, are just my titanium bot by Vargo, and also my fire kit. This is my traditional fire kit, and this is my traditional fire kit. It has a whole bunch of just old school means of fire, and I thought this would be a really fun kit to kind of go as much as I can realistically go old school, so leather, old-fashioned things. I didn't want to have this be like really new with high-tech kind of things. I mean, the bot's a little bit obviously new, but I wanted to keep it pretty old school. So that's the first 2 things, and of course I have some stuff in the bot. I have tea mixes and a couple Cliff bars, stuff like that in the bot. So the next part of this roll, so roll it out, is kind of my other camp gear. And so I have a Victorinox. I forget the name of this Victorinox, but it's just a really classic Victorinox that has the normal blade, the pen blade, the saw blade, your scissors, just a whole bunch of really nice tools. So lastly, but then next I have a good old belt knife, and this one of course is the Bark River Knives Aurora. So I wanted to once again go with the whole leather and rustic theme with this knife. Then next to that I have some paracord, and this I know isn't the old school kind of thing, but it's just paracord. It's really great, and I have a bunch of it laying around. And then lastly is a good old-fashioned axe. I think any kind of forestry kit like this cannot be complete without a really nice axe. So I have the GBA Scandi Forest axe here, and this kind of provides the backbone to the whole roll, and obviously it's the first thing rolled, last thing pulled out. So that is the bedroll. Essentially, it's a really basic bushcrafting system. I didn't want to overcomplicate this with a whole bunch of stuff, and just have a whole bunch of stuff that's not really there. It's just there to be filler stuff. This is kind of core stuff that I'd be using on a day or overnighter outing, and realistically be something that I could easily roll up in a bedroll or in a blanket like this one. Anyways guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully it's been a fun little look at something a little bit more traditional and a little bit more minimalist. So anyways guys, that's all for now. God bless, and I'm out.